White House correspondent Juliana Goldman joins us now. And Juliana, what is the president thinking right now?
Yeah, that's right, Betty. Well, the president, these comments that you're talking about came in an interview yesterday on PBS. He says that he is not interested in an open-ended conflict in Syria. And while, yes, he said that he still hasn't decided what course of action to take. All signs are pointing, and he implied also that there would be some sort of military strike.
We do not believe the opposition possessed nuclear weapons of that, or chemical weapons of that sort. We do not believe that, given the delivery systems using rockets, that the opposition could have carried out these attacks. We have concluded that the Syrian government, in fact, carried these out. And if that's so, then there need to be international consequences.
And Betty, later today, senior administration officials are going to be briefing congressional leadership and also chairs of the national security committees. It's unclear whether or not those briefings are going to include the classified version of the U.S. intelligence report that we've been waiting for all week. Administration officials say that that is going to show why they are so sure that Assad's forces carried out the attack. Now, the administration at some point will be showing a classified version of that report to members of Congress, and the public will be seeing a declassified version possibly as soon as today.
Well, Juliana, the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, though, is saying that he wants to wait for the findings of the UN investigators. So what's going on here?
Yeah, Betty, this is exactly what the administration was hoping to avoid all week. You've heard them been saying that this UN report is not going to be credible because it will not show who carried out the attack. Its mandate is just to show that an attack took place. And this brings back memories of the Iraq War, not just for the U.S., but for Britain as well. Remember, justification based on flawed evidence. And this is why David Cameron in the U.K. is running into resistance from his opposition party and from the Parliament back home. Now we understand that the Parliament is going to wait until next week for its vote on whether or not to authorize a military strike against Syria. They're saying that they want to wait to see the UN investigators' report. Now, what this means for timing, we're not going to have any attack until those UN investigators leave. They probably will be there until Saturday or around then. The U.S. could act without Britain, but those aren't the signals that the administration is sending. You heard from Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel earlier today saying that any action is going to require international collaboration.
So who's consulting with the president?
So he's got a team of very close advisors in the White House that go back all the way to his days during the 2008 campaign. So Susan Rice, former UN ambassador, she's his head of the National Security Council. Dennis McDonough is the chief of staff, but he worked on the National Security Council also. Tony Blinken, he's deputy National Security Council. Also Ben Rhodes, deputy on the National Security Council. Also his CIA head, John Brennan, John Kerry, Secretary of State, and also Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel.